Welcome to VDG Sports. I am your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. This might come as a shock to you. This may come as a surprise to you, but I have no problem, zero issues with the substitution rule, with being able to substitute up to 5 players in a match, but only you get 3 opportunities. 3 opportunities to sub in or sub out 5 players in football. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. There's many reasons, but one of the main reasons why I have no problem with that is the number of games played. The number of games played by footballers, by clubs, is large, and you will need to be able to have fresh bodies, especially with so many games being played. But the question that comes to mind is, what about the teams? What about the clubs that don't have big squads, that don't have a large number of quality players to sub in and out? How is that going to affect the game? How is that going to affect the leagues that's going to, or the leagues that have the 5 substitution rule? I would say there isn't enough evidence for me to suggest one way or the other. How about let this play out a little bit longer, a little bit more, and see if smaller clubs or smaller teams have less of an opportunity, less of a chance of winning a match from midpoint on in the season, from the beginning to the end, from midway, halfway. There's so many data points that need to be addressed for me to jump out and say smaller teams, smaller clubs won't have the same opportunity as bigger teams and bigger clubs, because they can have, or they will have, more quality when substituting a player in, because they have more opportunities to, or more chances to put in. Actually, not more chances, because you still only get the 3 chances, but for a total of 5 players. That's the difference. But with the more games being played, I would like to see this. Logically, you can conclude to that, but I'd argue wait and see. And that's why I have no issue, no problem whatsoever with the substitutions. None of it. Especially if footballers are going to play so many games. There's such thing as recovery. And with technology, you can pinpoint down to the science, the exact science on when a player should be playing and not get hurt, or how long he can play before he gets hurt. I get it. You still need to listen to the player himself, because he knows his body. But if science can help and technology can assist, why not? Why not? But it's going to take a little bit more for me to go out on a limb or jump off a hill and say smaller teams will be affected. Smaller teams won't have the same advantage as larger clubs and larger teams. Looking at it without any evidence, looking at it without any stats, a lot of stats to back up one way or the other, you are just wishing and hoping. I like to wish and hope for other things, not this. So if you are a wisher and hoper for this, thank you. Anyway, what do you think? Do you think this is a good idea? You think they shouldn't have done it, period? Or how about no substitutions at all? The 11 you start with, or the 11 you finish with, and if somebody gets hurt, so be it. If somebody gets tired, so what? Disagree? That's cool. You can't be right all the time.